Hi, my name is Michael Nunneley. Welcome to another episode of the Gospel of Comics. Today we're going to talk about sequential art and mythology, and a bit about their history, and what makes comics themselves such a great medium. For this, we need to talk about what is sequential art. Well, sequential art has been being done to tell stories for roughly 40,000 years. Cavemen, way back before language was written, were telling stories by drawing pictures. A couple of men with some buffalo, a couple of men killing a buffalo, then the village eating the buffalo, that kind of thing. It told a story of something that happened, but did it strictly through storytelling. And that method is still utilized in comics today, as you can see. Our comics, of course, are a little bit more complex and ordered, but the same kind of idea, as you can see, is here. You got the images to follow along. They go in a specific order. You just read along with it, and it allows you to see the story unfold visually, which is an important aspect of comics, and an important aspect of why I think comics are such a great medium. But it's not just how comics are done. It's the stuff that's in them. Inside comics, you find stories of great, incredible people put in great, incredible situations. You find stories of simple, nobody, nothing people put in horrid situations. You find stories of life and the struggles within it, and people who overcome them that inspire greatness in others. This is the basis of myth. And I submit that this is also the basis of comics, storytelling in general, but in comics specifically, they seem to fall into the category of mythology more than any other genre, as far as what the context is. In most cases, you're talking about, gods and mortals, people with superpowers and people without superpowers. These situations that are in, like, particularly the tragedies of Greek myth, right? There's no such thing as a happy Greek story. Okay, they're all tragedies. But the thing about it is, though, when you have a story that talks about somebody getting through something, even if it's just a matter of surviving, or even if they get through it by the skin of their teeth and they had to pay a lot for it, there are lessons that can be learned there. And in that same fashion, I believe comics are the same, because in comics you have people like Superman, which is essentially a god. You have people like Wonder Woman, who is a god, a demigod, mind you, but a god nonetheless. In my mind, there is no difference between these classic tales of myth and the comic book superheroes that we have today. And you want to talk about some aged history? People have been telling myths, these great stories, for thousands of years as well too. I mean, there's the cave paintings, obviously, started 40,000 years ago. But you know what? Way back when writing first got invented a few thousand years ago, there were people writing stories like the Epic of Gilgamesh. That's a big world-spanning story that really covers a lot of ground as far as character and events and what's going on in the world. these are the same kinds of stories that are in comics, and they're done in such a great medium, being that they are done with sequential art and with words. You're able to go farther than you can in a book. You're able to go deeper than you can in a movie. Comics should not be looked at as simply kids material. Most comics nowadays are not necessarily kid safe. In fact, there are obviously kids comics out there, but comics are a legitimate art form that tell legitimate stories. That I believe that they should be held in the same esteem as these great classical myths, and I believe that one day they will be looked at that way. Anyway, I hope that this was informative. I hope that maybe my love for this art form has rubbed off on you a little bit. Anyway, if there's anything you'd like to ask me, if you have any questions, if there's something you'd like to add, or just a comment of any sort, please feel free. I'd be happy to hear from you and respond. Live long and prosper, guys. IDIC.